Welcome back to B4 Crypto. Today we're going to look at the inflation numbers because we got a reading of 8.2% and it is higher as expected, but also lower than the previous reading of 8.3%. So guys, we saw that the price of Bitcoin dumped all the way from the level of $19,200 all the way down to the levels of 18,200. And then we saw that the price of Bitcoin turned around and bounced off from these levels. And now at the moment we are exactly where we have started. So guys, are we going to see that we're going to consolidate within these levels and then break out towards the upside, or are we going to see a massive rejection? Because guys, I found a bullish pattern which I'm going to show you in this video. So make sure to watch the video until the end, smash up the like button and subscribe. So if you're watching this video without being subscribed, go down and subscribe directly now. And guys, we're going to start on the daily chart for Bitcoin. And as you can see that we are at the moment forming this perfect descending broadening wedge. And guys, I'm going to show it to you on the 4-hour chart. But first, we're going to look on the daily chart what happened with the price of Bitcoin after the CPI release. And as you can see, we dumped all the way down and we saw this pump straight back up. So guys, what does it mean? Are we going to see that we're going to fail in these levels and come all the way back down and maybe even retest the previous low of $17,600? Maybe guys, but maybe we are also going to break these levels and we are going to break through this major resistance. So guys, let's directly go over to the 4-hour chart of Bitcoin. And here you can see we dumped all the way down to these levels of $18,200. We bounced off perfectly from this downward sloping trend line that we have all the way from the all-time high at $69,000, and we perfectly bounced off from these levels. And that is quite bullish guys, because if we zoom out on the 4-hour chart, we can see that all the time when we came into these areas of round about 18,000 to 18,800, we always saw a fast move towards the upside. And guys, we can even zoom out. Each time when we came into these areas, we saw that Bitcoin bounced off from these levels. But as we can see here on the 4-hour chart very clearly that we are forming a descending broadening wedge. As you can see, we consolidate in between these two important trend lines. So this means that exactly here we have our descending broadening wedge. And that is also a bullish pattern. And the price target from the breakout from this descending broadening wedge is from the top all the way to the bottom where we had this dump towards this trend line, and then we drag it over to the potential breakout point, and let's say the breakout will be exactly here. We could reach levels of $21,800 to round about $22,000. And if we zoom out, we can see that in these areas we would face some major resistance that come all the way from these levels, and also that was previous support exactly here. So guys, this could be a potential breakout if we're going to see that we're going to break out from these levels. But guys, first of all, after this move towards the downside and this quick move back up, we want to see a consolidation in these areas and retest this support box until we're going to see the next move up. Because guys, if we're going to see a fast move towards the upside, we could expect that the price of Bitcoin will come down even lower in comparison if we're going to consolidate before we're going to see the next move up, so that we can really break this resistance. Because at the moment we can see that in between these levels, let me just remove all these drawings and then we can find out where would be our next resistance point. And exactly in these levels we could expect some major resistance. So it would be from the levels of $19,800 round about here where we also have this downward sloping trend line. But guys, we could also see some major resistance in these areas where we saw that Bitcoin topped out at the moment at $19,500. So I would like to see the price of Bitcoin consolidate in between these areas and maybe even come down to these levels until we're going to see the breakout towards the upside. So guys, at the moment it is very important for Bitcoin that we will consolidate in between the areas from $19,200 up to $19,500. That we're going to stay in these areas until we're going to see the breakout through this heavy resistance that we are going to face all the way up to the levels of $20,000. So now we're going to go over to the DXY. Like I told you in the previous video that I expect a lower high for the DXY, and that we're going to see that we're going to reach exactly this trend line again and maybe even break these levels. That is why we are also seeing this bullish move for Bitcoin, because at the moment the DXY looks quite weak. I'm going to keep you updated, and that's why it's very important to smash up the like button and subscribe to always keep up to date. And guys, activate the bell, and we see each other in the next video.